Beleza, pessoal. Uma vez estudando Mulesoft. Na verdade, é uma preparação para o certificado de Integration Associate. Então, ontem iniciamos os estudos pelo Trailhead, né? Da Salesforce. Vimos esses tópicos aqui. Beleza, hoje é dia 14. Vamos para o próximo link. Vamos fechando a lacuna de entrega de TI. Torne sua equipe de TI mais produtiva e inovadora. Tomadores de decisão de TI nos disseram no relatório de referência de conectividade que estavam achando mais difícil do que nunca atingir suas metas de transformação digital. Há uma lacuna de entrega entre o que a empresa está pedindo que as equipes de TI entreguem e o que realmente pode ser realizado. Como essa lacuna na entrega de TI pode ser fechada? Leia este white paper para descobrir. Porque a lacuna de entrega de TI só vai piorar. O que fazer para fechar a lacuna de entrega de TI? Estudos de caso de organizações que tornaram suas equipes de TI mais produtivas e rápidas. Certo? PDF. Mesma coisa que a gente PDF, mais 11 páginas. Inglês. Ah, mas tudo aquilo que a gente já viu. Passa. Deve passar. Em produção. Change your approach. Station. Beleza. Bom. LED, né? São application work. Body. Letra posing the HDT. Vou marcar como lead esse carinha. Tá me deixando cansado. Melhor. What is Agile Project Development? B. Para dar uma traduzida aqui. É porque isso aqui ainda não é, vale. Tudo para certificação. Isso aqui é uma ideia geral ainda. No DevOps, o desenvolvimento ágil de projetos, também conhecido como desenvolvimento ágil de software, é uma abordagem iterativa para a entrega do projeto, na qual o software é construído de forma incremental desde o início do projeto. Desenvolvimento ágil de projetos contrasta fortemente com o modelo cascata, a abordagem tradicional no campo de desenvolvimento de software, em que os projetos são entregues todos de uma vez. Faz sentido. Então, como funciona o desenvolvimento ágil de projetos? Quais são seus benefícios? Vamos começar com a primeira metade dessa questão. No desenvolvimento ágil de projetos, as equipes primeiro dividem os projetos em partes menores que possam resolver. Essas peças são conhecidas como histórias de usuários e contêm descrições simples de quais são os requisitos e componentes do projeto. Depois de apresentar essas histórias de usuários, user story, as equipes as discutem, priorizam e começam a trabalhar nelas. Com o desenvolvimento ágil de projetos, as equipes entregam componentes do projeto por meio de entrega e integração contínuas e ciclos curtos, conhecidos como sprints e iterações. Benefícios do desenvolvimento ágil de projetos. As equipes que implementam o desenvolvimento ágil de projetos podem obter vários benefícios. 1. Maior qualidade do projeto. No desenvolvimento ágil de projetos, as equipes definem e priorizam os requisitos antecipadamente. Além disso, os processos de DevOps, como entrega e integração contínua, garantem testes consistentes, melhorias contínuas e melhor documentação. Isso resulta em um software de qualidade superior ao produzido usando abordagem tradicional. 2. Melhor visibilidade e desempenho. As equipes que adotam o desenvolvimento ágil de projetos sabem exatamente onde estão, pois cada componente do projeto é dividido em partes menores, tornando mais fácil para eles ver seu progresso, bem como o progresso de outras equipes envolvidas. Isso leva a uma melhor visibilidade do produto e a equipes mais produtivas e com melhor desempenho. 3. Maior previsibilidade. Com o desenvolvimento ágil de projetos, melhora a visibilidade e o desempenho. Ele também tem um impacto positivo na previsibilidade. A cada ciclo ou sprint de desenvolvimento de projeto, as equipes veem onde estão os obstáculos e podem trabalhar rapidamente para corrigi-los. 4. Menos risco. No desenvolvimento ágil de projetos, as equipes trabalham nos requisitos de forma iterativa. Como resultado, consegue reduzir o risco de falha do projeto. Isso porque, a cada peça montada, a equipe terá visibilidade se deu certo ou não. Dessa forma, quando o produto final estiver completo, todas as partes do produto já foram testadas e estão funcionais. Isso contrasta com a abordagem tradicional, em que tudo é entregue de uma só vez, tornando difícil discernir qual parte do projeto não está funcionando. 5. Maior satisfação do cliente. No final das contas, os benefícios acima que o desenvolvimento ágil de projetos oferece levam a um resultado importante: a satisfação do cliente. Por meio de metodologias ágeis, as equipes garantem que o software funcione em todas as etapas, e não apenas leva a uma maior satisfação quando os clientes usam o produto, mas também oferece espaço para um maior envolvimento do cliente durante o ciclo de desenvolvimento. Por exemplo, as equipes podem compartilhar feedback dos clientes, fornecendo-lhes acesso antecipado aos produtos. Comece com o desenvolvimento ágil de projetos. O desenvolvimento ágil de projetos é uma das abordagens mais adotadas para o desenvolvimento de software, com 71% das empresas relatando que usam metodologias ágeis. Estudos mostram que o uso dessa abordagem pode, em média, levar produtos ao mercado 37% mais rapidamente e ser 16% mais produtivo como equipe. O desenvolvimento ágil de projetos Pronto, pessoal, voltando aqui. Não sei nem onde eu tava, mas bora lá. Ah, estudos mostram que o uso dessa abordagem, desenvolvimento ágil de projetos, pode, em média, levar produtos ao mercado 37% mais rapidamente e ser 16% mais produtivo como equipe. O desenvolvimento ágil de projetos começa com as ferramentas certas à sua disposição. Veja como o Endpoint Platform da Mulesoft pode permitir que as equipes apliquem práticas de DevOps em todo o ciclo de desenvolvimento de software. Tá como lido. Pronto, aqui parece que fica mais interessante. API Lifecycle Management. Manage the full lifecycle of your APIs. Full API Lifecycle Management is a key driver of business and technology performance. Are you setting your developers up for success from API design through deprecation? Download this visual guide on API Lifecycle Management to learn how to design reusable APIs with DevOps, Agile SDLC, and an outside in API strategy. Implement APIs with complete CI/CD, automatic testing, and rapid deployment. Manage APIs orchestrate, monitor, analyze, and facilitate reuse to increase API consumption. Para ver. Are managing the full API lifecycle. Introduction. In today's competitive landscape, businesses need to make decisions quickly, whether it's a new marketing campaign, a new product enhancement, a new partner portal, or an employee productivity app. Businesses are competing on speed. What is needed is flexibility. And what better way to do this than to create purposeful, purposeful agile application building blocks that can be easily pieced together with well-designed, well-managed APIs to quickly create what is needed. Connecting these building blocks results in a network of interchangeable functionality, a network of sub-functions or applications. We call it the application network. Let's future-proof ourselves and hedge against uncertainty by creating these building blocks, and then allow for the flexibility to rapidly piece them together on an on-demand basis. Welcome to the application network. The application network The application network is the future. It emerges from the creation of multiple APIs-enabled microservice. Connecting these microservices with a strategic API approach results in a composable network. The network allows the flexibility to rapidly piece together different servers for multiple functionalities an on-demand basis, providing business agility and a robust platform for innovation. Ay, ay. The anatomy of an application building block. An application network is composed of application building blocks. These have multiple elements and it's critical to separate the concerns between each. The API interface, the API implementation, and the API management aspects all have their own specific, unique life cycles to follow. This building block should itself be treated as a product since these characteristics are common to what a good product should also have. Therefore, it makes sense to treat a building block from a product-centric approach. We see we see this product-centric lifecycle as having three distinct stages: design, implementation, and management. Design, implementation, and management. Design, feedback. Design, simulate, feedback, validate, face back. Build, implementation, build and test. And management, service with apps. Secure, deploy, monitor, troubleshoot, manage. Design, how to design an API. Designing an API starts with an acknowledgement ahead of time that the API production process will start from an outside-in perspective, beginning with the interface contract of the API. That is to say, first let us decide what the API will look and behave like before we actually begin to code the backend logic. Often developers build APIs without knowing the API has been validated and accepted. As a result, there is always this air of uncertainty. This is this what my consuming developers want? Outside in done right. APIs developers must design the user interface of the API first. This is also known as the API contract. This approach is typically known as a design first approach, and it should follow a deliberate API design lifecycle in order to optimize for the best API experience. As a result, it is important to be able to do this in a human readable fashion to specify the contract in a way that humans can easily digest. Ai, ai, ai. Beleza. Um, Design, identify process and business requirements, create logical data model, translate into logical service API grouping, simulate model API resources, model API operation methods, model request response, load codes. Feedback, mock up the API, publish interactive console, create, create notebooks and cases, use cases, receive developer feedback, validate, modify API design as appropriate based developer feedback, continue to validate API soliciting feedback on the API design. At this point in the process, the API designer, the designer of the API contract, is ready to have the API be validated and tested by the API consumers, a client mobile app website developer, or another API provider in some cases. The currency of conversation between both parties will be via interactive tools such as the API notebook and interactive documentation, to name a few. There are many other tools that can be referenced from the remo.org site. This process of validation may be brief or extended over numerous iterations. Repeatable design. Any well-designed API will have repeatability repeatability in, in it as well as repeatability across other APIs. This can easily be encapsulated into best practice patterns both at the structural level of the API, nouns, sources, as well as at the method level, verbs. So, as API developers go about the design process, it is important to be able to discover and share repeatable patterns. Implementation connect systematically, not in an ad hoc fashion. API implementation is a critical piece of enabling a next generation enterprise, enabling for dozens, potentially even hundreds or thousands of APIs to be connected down to a backend and connected to each other will be key. This must be done in a systematic manner as opposed to point code. Tips. What do we mean by systematic in this case? We see it as having the following architectural patterns easily available to the API developer. Orchestration, transformation, routing, data mapping, connectivity to popular size, on-prem systems and data, file, and other protocols. It also must be out of the box, pattern based, extendable, and based on best practice. Put API design principles and best practices in a common repository. Benefits of a best practices repository: increase business agility, share best practice with reusable templates and logic, leverage best practice patterns, rapidly deploy APIs, fail fast, succeed faster, minimize point-to-point logic, future-proof for stability. Tips: best practice patterns to be leveraged when creating new building blocks. Popular database calls most commonly done transformation. Most popular workflows across multiple systems. Connection to popular SaaS and on-premise endpoints. REST SOAP transformation. Testing the API implementation. At this point in the process, the API provider, the developer behind the API implementation, is ready to have the guts of the API tested. MUnit in Mulesoft's testing solution, which is incorporated into the full application building block lifecycle. Test automation tools are critical here, as this integrates into the DevOps processes of continuous delivery and deployment. Management. Embrace DevOps. Embracing modern DevOps-centric processes and tooling is critical to reduce mean time to production, and this should apply to your application building blocks as well. Once the application building block has been assembled and tested, deployment should be as easy as the click of a button. The use of a hybrid integration platform that is lightweight, easy to install, and suitable for CI/CD workflows is key. The ability to have seamless support for dependency management, testing, version control, and automated deployment tooling should be an assumption. Cover govern, and secure all traffic. It is critical to ensure your application building blocks are following best practices in security and architectural governance by applying policies to them at runtime. Monitoring, monitoring all traffic is equally critical because it just takes just one weak link to bring the ship down. Tips: policy configuration examples, traffic management, rate limit, access policies, or out to identify policies, custom policies, monitoring and analytics examples, restructure logs, service uptime analysis, client consumption data, provider analytics. Don't forget about the discoverability and on ramp. On ramp. Imagine your company with hundreds, if not thousands, of APIs in your expensive application network. Imagine you're adding several new ones every day. Being able to appropriately publish them so the consuming developer can find, research, and understand them easily would make or break your entire program. There is no point in building something that won't ever be found, let alone used. Just, just like any product, application building blocks change. Building blocks will change. It's a when, not an if. So be ready for it, which requires a carefully planned set of policies, procedure, procedures, and the right platform to seamlessly migrate clients across new versions of APIs. Getting this migration wrong will affect your customers. That's not a risk worth taking. It takes a village to have an application network. It's key to have the ability to adapt towards the new operating model, one where DevOps and Lean practice are adopted, as well as the creation of new roles and responsibilities to support this new where people play in the life cycle. Depending on the maturity of your organization, there may be one person handling all these responsibilities, or there may be multiple people doing so. The important thing do the important thing to note is that each stage in the life cycle provides a specific value which ensures application building blocks provide the desired business outcomes. So now what? For more background on full lifecycle API management, take a look at the Gartner Magic Quadrant, in which Mulesoft is a leader. You can also take a look at further resources on API strategy and API development. Contact us to find out more information about how full lifecycle API management can make a difference in your organization. Ai, ai, foi tanto inglês que. Ó, já como completo, foi bem mais que 10 minutos. DevOps Resources. Inglês que é melhor continuar em inglês mesmo. Caraca. DevOps Resources. DevOps is becoming an increasingly important part of IT. But what is it? DevOps is a movement with a set of practices that aim to increase collaboration between IT operations and development teams. The movement grew as a reaction against common problems that IT teams face, including the siloing of team members, the uncertainty of introducing new features, the fear of deploying changes, the difficulty of finding facts, and most importantly, the rise of bottlenecks within the software development lifecycle. These common problems hinder both the speed and agility of businesses. This is why the philosophy of DevOps has become an important topic in CIO circles because it is an approach to change the business mindset about how technology is created, deployed, and used. CIO.com writer Rich Hain says some refer to DevOps as a philosophy using both lean and agile methodologies. Organizations bring IT operations and development teams as well as quality assurance people gathered throughout the software life cycle to create a more collaborative process that in the end should deliver software and or services in a faster and more continuous manner. Traditionally, elements of IT have been siloed. DevOps aims to break down those silos to get everyone working towards the same goal. A recent study by Utah State University and is sponsored by Puppet Labs revealed that DevOps practice can increase IT performance and improve a business bottom line. As a result, it is no wonder that for many organizations, adopting DevOps has become a rite of passage. However, building a successful DevOps environment is not as easy as it sounds. It requires organization to rethink current software development practices, project approaches, team roles, as well as key aspects of IT culture. Implementing key DevOps practices. At the heart, DevOps encourages implementing a number of key practices, including continuous integration. Integrating code is a shared control repository regularly, preferably daily. Continuous delivery and deployment. Delivering and deploying changes and fixes daily in a controlled, rapid manner. Automated testing. Testing deployments and deliveries in a continuous, automated fashion. Active monitoring. Conducting health checks to ensure platforms, applications, and solutions are running appropriately. The above practices are necessary to enabling this new wave of collaboration. For example, continuous integration enables teams to better detect errors and bugs, allows them to deliver their projects more quickly and in a predictable manner, and increases overall transparency. Continuous delivery and deployment enables teams to release their work, make changes or fixes, and build a software that is deployable throughout its lifecycle. In addition, DevOps environment aim to remove the onus of manual testing by encouraging automated testing instead. This creates this creates a productive DevOps team in which all tests are done automatically, yielding to more time for innovation as well as quicker and more accurate tests for deliveries and deployment. Active monitoring is also key, especially because DevOps leads to frequent deliveries, updates, and deployments, making making it increasingly important to actively monitor software in projects and reuse and ensure their performance and health. Adopting DevOps enablement tools. The above practices are necessary to building a DevOps environment. However, implementing this practice requires organizations to adopt tools that enable better building, testing, delivery, and deployment across DevOps teams. As demonstrated through the graphic above, there are a proliferation of tools in the market, and unsurprisingly, many organizations do not know where to start and which tools are most effective. We researched top tools that help organizations enable DevOps, from Gradle and Maven to Munit and Puppet. Check out this list of tools to learn more about two DevOps tools for building, testing, delivering, and deploying. In addition to choosing the tools that best suit your organization environment, it is also important to understand how to leverage these tools to implement key DevOps practices. Practice. Uh, get started by exploring some of our how-to guides. Benefits of a DevOps environment. That is a reason why many organizations are turning to DevOps. The benefits of adopting DevOps are many, including but not limited to the following. Benefit 1: increases visibility, uh, and decreases the risk of uncertainty in terms of timelines and project delivery. Benefit 2: enhances collaboration and enables teams to formulate better solutions. 3. Improves the process of detecting and addressing errors, bugs, and other issues. 4. Creates a model based on collaborative, sustained, and instant team feedback. 5. Eliminates the emergency of bottlenecks within organization and across the software development lifecycle. The above benefits are only a small representation of the power of DevOps and the impact that it can have the organization. um, can have. Beleza. A bateria chegou no fim, pessoal. Não consegui terminar isso aqui, mas damos um pouco. Beleza, vamos ver o que tem mais, teria mais aqui, né? Isso aqui tudinho, digamos assim, 8 horas, caraca. Não precisa disso tudo, não. Mas beleza. Seguindo esse passo a passo, depois estudamos mais especificamente o MCIA, beleza? Eu vou terminar por aqui porque a bateria já chegou no fim. Já estamos aqui há quanto tempo? 43 minutos. Foi um bom tempo. Relativamente não tão bom assim, mas um tempo ok. Então, beleza, pessoal. É isso e até mais.